Hi, it's Elaine from Penguin Place Crafts. It's Thursday, and when I was trying to come up with, okay, what am I going to title this video? It was like, okay, I've definitely been looking at something old. I've got something new. There's nothing borrowed, but there's something blue. So, as far as the old thing is concerned, Stacy Makes and the Cozy Buckeye have introduced a new challenge where you dig up those old patterns that you bought, like, oh, I want to make that. I have to buy that pattern. And then it gets put away someplace and you don't do it. I have a spreadsheet. There are 51 patterns on this spreadsheet. They date back to 2015. The oldest one was September 2015. It was the Rainbow Zebra Hoodie by 1 and 2 Company. Back then in 2015, I had hats and hoodies and scarves and gloves and things like that on my craft table when I did craft shows. I've sort of phased that out. Maybe one of my granddaughters would like a rainbow hoodie. They all live in a cold climate where we have winters. But I did go through and star 8, 9 patterns that I want to try to find in my files and eventually make. I think the challenge only calls for you to do 5, but looking through here is like, oh yeah, okay, gotta make that. The first one was, now some of these are so old, they're not even available as patterns anymore because like the designers have closed down their website or closed up shop or something like that. So I'm sorry if I mention something and you can't get to the pattern because it's not available anymore. Chloe the Chameleon by Critterific Creations. And there's a cockatiel, handmade by sisters. Dogs and Hats from Trifles and Treasures. Now that one, technically, I probably didn't pay for it because Trifles and Treasures several times a year offers a code to get a free pattern. So I probably got it for free, but it is a paid pattern. Lovebirds by Hugurumitoys. Lucky the Chihuahua by, I don't have readers on, I think it's Dory Yumi. Peas in a Pod by Pink Tomato. I've always wanted to make little peas in a pod because my 3 daughters, we always get comments about, oh, there's 3 peas in a pod. Yep. Pippa the Penguin. It's a penguin. What more can I say? Planter Peeps. That's another one by Trifles and Treasures. And it's like a little doll where the skirt folds up and it looks like a flower pot with flowers on it, but the flowers are a flower crown on the head of the doll. It looks adorable. I'm going to make that. I got that one in October of 2020. I haven't made it yet. And then Watermelon Louie by Whimsical Yarn Creations. Louie the monkey. There's a bunch of different Louie, like baby Louie, and I've made the baby Louie pattern a few times. I know that I made it with retro stripes at least once. And it's a cute little monkey. They've sold very well for me. I don't have any in stock right now. And I think that a watermelon Louie would be quite cute. I may take out my retro stripe yarn. There was one up there. It might be behind where the timestamp is on my phone here. So that's the old. Yeah. Something new. I tried 2 new patterns. First off, I saw that picture on Facebook. It's like, oh, that's a cool looking little rooster. And it looks like it will work up fast because it looks like it's just, you make a little circle about the size of a big coaster, fold it in half and stuff it, and then do a little bit for the head and a little bit for the tail, and you're done. Well, in the actual picture, there's a website. It's not the website for the pattern. It's a business website for like car parts. Deceptive. I'm not saying that the designer of that pattern is deceptive. I'm saying that someone was using deceptive means on Facebook. So they had a link that you're supposed to click to get the pattern, to see the pattern. We click on a link and it said, in order to see this content, you must watch this ad. Okay, so I watched the ad. And then it went to a pattern. It was not that pattern. It was shaped more like a Mabel chicken because you went out and then you decreased and came to a point. So it wasn't the same pattern. I could tell. It was all single crochet. And you could see from that picture, it starts out with double crochets. So I'm like, oh, it starts out with double crochets. That's going to go faster because double crochets are like twice as big as single crochet. Well, it may take you twice as long to make one because it's two motions instead of just the one. Okay, so I went on a search and I found it. It is a YouTube tutorial by, I think it's Crochet Craftsman, but I will put that up here. And I've watched the tutorial, I wrote it down, and I made my rooster. From the picture, they must have used really little yarn, like a 2.5 hook or something like that. But in worsted weight, I think it turned out pretty cute. And here's my tip. I just put the eyes on with a little dot of tulip black fabric paint. Well, I've got eyes on both sides. If I just set it down someplace, it may tip over and it may smear the eye paint. So this poor chicken, I impaled him on a knitting needle. Put the knitting needle in my pen holder, so he sat there impaled on a knitting needle for a couple of hours while his eyes dried. Yep, that's what I put my projects through. I also made an old project. It's the return of the angry banana. Since the angry banana sold pretty quickly, I decided I need to redo it. I found some yellow velvet yarn here in the craft room, and I made up my angry banana again. Then I did another free pattern. This one is by Hugurumitoys on Instagram. And this was one of those cases. It's a cute rubber duck pattern. You needed to follow Hugurumitoys on Instagram. You don't necessarily have to be able to pronounce their name. And you find this post and you comment on it. I think you just comment duck. And they send you a link to the PDF pattern in a direct message. So that's nice. It's all formatted and ready to print. And I've only made ducks in like yellow, white, and orange before. But seeing this pattern gave me the courage to make a hot pink duck. I can just see having like blue, pink, yellow, orange, a whole lineup of ducks at a craft show. Okay, so that was another something new. Nothing borrowed. I couldn't think of something borrowed. Wish I could borrow some time. It's been busy. Like today, I had to do some canning because the vegetables were taking over the fridge again, especially cucumbers. We had like 15 cucumbers in the fridge, 2 like gallon bags of them. So I cut up a bunch of cucumbers and I made a cucumber salad that it's in a canning jar in the fridge, and like we take it out for meals and it'll probably last us a few weeks. Just a little bit at this meal, a little bit at that meal. And I also cut up cucumbers, peppers, and onions for sweet pickle relish. And I only had green peppers. So I thought, this is sort of boring looking. You know, it should have like some red peppers or yellow peppers in there to give it a little bit of color. Ooh, I have beets in the fridge. So I shredded a beet into the mixture. I do believe I'm going to have pink pickle relish. As long as it tastes okay, that should be fun. But then if I make like potato salad with it, I may end up with pink potato salad. Maybe I didn't think this out all that well. But we're down to 3 cucumbers, and I need 2 of them tomorrow for another salad that I'm making for Saturday. So all is well. And I'm using sugar snap peas for our dinner tonight. And there's still a lot of beans. Okay. One more thing. Should have brought water. I told you yesterday that I took a skein of Bernat blanket. I know I had more than one. Yep. From my thrift store purchase. Bernat blanket. It's upside down. And they put these things so tiny. Don't they know that a lot of people who crochet and use this yarn are grandmothers who can't read the fine print unless they have their readers, and they can never find a pair of readers? But it's some, I don't know. It's blue. I'll get it off the label that's up on my chair that is currently attached to a dinosaur and let you know what color it actually is. But I finished my first project from that skein. And of course, it's a dinosaur. This is Tilly the Triceratops. You may have seen Tilly on my community page or whatever it's called last night, because the angry banana went for a ride on Tilly in the lightbox. It was getting late. I was getting silly. So now that I've made a Triceratops in this shade of blue, next is a Bronto, and then maybe a dragon, and we'll see how much yarn is left from there. So those were my Thursday adventures. Tomorrow I'm going to go shopping. I need to drop off an order. I need to work on an Etsy order. I got an Etsy order. A custom order for an Ankylosaurus. So I need to get working on that. Yay! But it's an order. It's an order. Yes. That, oh man, I'll have to check the figures. That may put me just like $10 or so away from having my best July ever. I'll have to check and see and let you know how far away I am from best July ever. If I would have dropped off, I have an order that I could drop off for somebody else, and I'd get paid $20 for that. But it has been so hot, I haven't wanted to leave the house. So it'll bump into August. I'll start out August with a $20 order, so August will not be a total shambles. Okay, I have to look for the order that I'm dropping off tomorrow. I have to start the Ankylosaurus. I have to go stir the potatoes that are in the oven for dinner. Tonight is lamb chops, garlic roasted potatoes, and I'm going to try Greek sugar snap peas. Basically, you're sauteing the sugar snap peas, add some garlic, add some oregano, and then put some feta cheese in with them before you serve them up. We'll see. Sugar snap peas are good pretty much no matter what you do. So that's that. I need to go check on dinner. So bye-bye.